Everybody, it's Nick with Bug Outdoors, and today we got a few things going. We're going to do a test ride on the bike because I just got these Tusk boxes installed. And we're also going to do the 3R challenge, the 3 reasons why I own a KLR 650. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So the new challenge going around right now, involving the klrdelusionals and dual sporting, is the 3R challenge, and it's basically the 3 reasons, or 3 of the reasons why I bought and I own the bike that I own, which in my case is a 2017 Kawasaki KLR 650. So there are several reasons that I can say why I bought or own a KLR 650. Oh, it's a sneaky. The first of is my riding history, so we'll have to start there. So I started riding probably around 15 years ago, and of course I went straight to the super fast sport bikes. I was, early mid-20s, somewhere in there, and I actually bought a Honda CBR 1100XX Blackbird before I even knew how to ride. In fact, when we went to get it, which was in Southern California, my father had to ride it home for me because I didn't know how to ride a bike. So I went from not knowing how to ride a bike to buying one of, at the time, the fastest production bikes in the world. Now, I quickly learned to ride, and I never had an issue. I rode my Blackbird. I ended up buying another Blackbird. I rode Hayabusas, and I was all into the straight line rocket speed. But as with most people, I started to find myself riding too dangerously, and my family didn't like it, and even I didn't like it. And with my career choice, it was a bad idea. So I sold the bikes and ended up buying a Honda ST 1300, a big, comfy touring bike. And that was a lot of fun. And I toured all over California. I rode to Utah. I've been to Texas. I've been to Oregon. But it just didn't do it for me. It wasn't the most exciting thing. So I also went and bought a Honda XR 650R. I wanted to be off-road. At the time, I lived in a small town called Valley Springs, and the XR 650R was kickstart only and didn't even have a key. So the thought of riding it anywhere out of the tiny town I lived in just made me realize at any point anyone who knew anything about bikes could get on that bike, kickstart it, and ride off. There was no theft device at all. And it was fun, but I wanted something that was a little more roadworthy, but still good for off-road. So I had seen a documentary or a TV series, like most of you have seen, called Long Way Around, and that's where it changed my perspective. I wanted to ride off-road and camp off-road and adventure off-road, not on paved roads with all the other traffic, and I really wanted to do it, which is kind of why I got the XR 650R, but then I was limited to, local riding. So a few years ago, my father and I, who also rides, decided to take a trip to Oregon on our ST 1300s. And on the way up there, we decided to wilderness camp, and we actually pulled off some dirt roads and camped on Mount Shasta, on just a wilderness area. Made me quickly realize that the ST 1300 was not the best choice to take off-road. It was quite terrifying. But we did it, and we camped and had a blast. And it was that day that I decided I wanted something that would be better suited for that kind of riding. I could get somewhere on the road, but then have no problems when I got off-road. So that leads me to reason number 1. I wanted a big adventure bike that was fully capable on-road, as I commute on my bike sometimes, but also very good off-road. I looked at several bikes, and most of the ones that fit that bill I can't afford. The only 2 that really I could was the DR650, the Suzuki DRZ 400, and the KLR 650. And I actually originally was leaning towards the Suzuki DRZ 400. I watch Everride's YouTube channel, and he does a lot of stuff on his DRZ 400, but then I remembered after I went and sat on one at the dealership, I'm not a small guy, and I think that bike would really struggle with me. I'm 6'4" and 250 plus pounds. So I decided against the DRZ 400. So that left me down to the KLR and the DR650. I actually like the look of the DR650 and the Gen 1 KLR the best. But after sitting on them both, I just realized the KLR 650 was the better fit for me. And if I got the Gen 2 KLR 650, which I didn't like the look as much, it would be perfect off-road for what I needed. So that's reason number one. It's big enough for my big size. It's great on-road, or at least good on-road and good off-road. So reason number two is pretty simple, and it's probably the same as everybody else. It's cheap. I was able to buy this bike brand new off the showroom floor, 0 miles, out the door for right around 6 grand. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was right around 6 grand. And at the time, it wasn't discontinued. It was still being built when I bought mine. So reason number two is simple. I was able to sell my Honda ST1300 that was used and had 170,000 miles on it for more than enough to pay for my bike out the door and have left over. So reason number two is simple. It was affordable. Reason number three is also pretty simple. After owning my Honda Blackbird and my Honda ST1300, I realized that I like to own a bike that has a community following it. I like to be able to lean on guys when I need technical assistance, because I'm far from a mechanic. And I also like to know that if anybody ever needs help, you know, they can contact me and I can help them, or they can help me. I really enjoyed that. And with the Honda ST1300, there was a huge community. I could pretty much travel the country and never even have to get a hotel or anything, because every state and a lot of cities, there was somebody that would put their name on there and say, hey, if you're ever traveling through here, you can camp in my backyard, sleep on my couch, whatever. It was great. It was a very nice community. I really enjoyed it. So after looking, I found the KLR community was very good as well. Maybe not as much as the ST1300, but then you have dual sport communities. There's a lot of guys out there, and already since I've owned this bike, I've received a lot of help from people. I've had people contact me wanting to ride. I've had people send me camping locations of where I want to go. It's been a pretty good community. I've had people like Ron C, who's helped me figure out my spam card and all kinds of stuff. So that was reason number three. I wanted a bike that had a good following, and I found the KLR 650 to fit that bill. I'll give you a bonus. Reason number four. Maybe I'm cheating, I don't know, but that's alright. I wanted a bike that I could affordably modify or kit up, and not have to spend a fortune. And I found the aftermarket accessories for this bike more than any other bike I've ever owned. So that was another big reason for me, was that I could affordably, kit this bike out with some panniers and the stuff that I thought I would need. Like I got extra new mirrors, I got a seat cover, I put the 16-tooth sprocket on, and I didn't spend a fortune. So that was a big reason for me. So those are my three, we'll say 0.5 reasons why I bought and why I own a KLR 650. So do I regret it? Not even a little bit. I love this bike. I never used to commute to work on my bike, and now I find myself commuting 4 days a week just because I enjoy riding it. It's not without its faults, but it's just a lot of fun to ride. Like right now, I'm going to have blood drawn for a medical exam. Take the bike. Why not? Let's get it out. Also, I want to make sure my Tusk Panniers don't fall off, and so far, I think they're still on there. Okay guys, so we made it. The boxes didn't fall off. This is how it looks now. I need to put the Sport Touring windshield back on, but I'm going to wait until it gets a little cooler. So I need to nominate 3 people, I believe, to do this challenge. First, I'm going to nominate Alcan ADV. I know you just got back from a trip across the country, and I know it was a pretty rough trip, but if you got some time, let's see what your reasons are. Second, I'm going to nominate ADV Nevada. He does really good videos, very high quality, that I could only dream of. So let's see what yours are. And you've got several bikes, so maybe you don't choose a KLR. And my third nomination, or challenge, let's go international. Let's do Even Steven Moto Drone. Another one that does really good videos, even though I don't understand them all the time. One thing about a motorcycle is I don't need to speak the language to see how much fun he's having. So let's see what you got. I think all 3 are on the KLR Delusionals Facebook group, so I'll post this there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.